Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes and major embarrassment for Ed Miliband. Although, to be honest, if you were Ed Miliband, you'd be embarrassed too. But it seems his policy of trying to get everybody out of ICE cars, internal combustion engines, by 2030 is, alas, doomed to failure. He's now weakened it. He's watered it down already. The plan was that only electric cars could be sold from 2030 onwards. They've now given up on that. They've now said, OK, we'll allow hybrids as well until 2035. It's still doomed to fail, of course. One of the big problems they have, one of the many big problems, is that people don't want to drive electric cars. And there's also the fact that the infrastructure isn't yet in place for people who drive electric cars. We're not just talking about charging points, of which there are way, way too few. They're about, 200,000 units behind schedule already. This is a problem that's only going to get worse as time goes on. There's also the actual infrastructure of the grid system. The national grid couldn't handle all the cars pulling out all that power all day, every day. It's not there. It's probably going to take 50 to 60 years to get that up. I mean, it probably wouldn't. You could probably do it in 10 years, but this is the British government. And obviously everything is going to be very, very slow, very, very expensive, and have to be done twice because they get it wrong the first time. I despair of this country sometimes. There's also the fact that just about every major car manufacturer is saying, please don't force this on us. We can't do it. Simply because they aren't geared up for this kind of production. They can't guarantee the materials, the raw materials for the batteries, which are all mainly owned by either Russia or China. They're afraid of China dumping 1 million electric cars into Europe at ridiculously cutthroat cheap prices, £5,000, for example, simply because China have got fields worth of them that nobody's buying. So at the very least, they'll just dump them on Europe, killing Europe's car manufacturing industry and tying everyone in the world into Chinese cars, which will then become very, very low quality. Everything else from China is, so why not their cars? And so you have this big problem. And then Ed Miliband is sitting there going, let me just finish this bacon sandwich and sort it all out. He couldn't sort out anything. He's quite incapable. He has no understanding. And never mind all cars being electric by 2035. It's unlikely and going to have to be pushed back, probably to 2065 or 2080, possibly 2100. Meanwhile, people still haven't answered the question. What are they going to do with all the petrol? Nobody knows. Anyway, thanks very much. Take care. Goodbye.